Welcome to the Phoenix Comic YouTube channel, your number one stop for video drawing tutorials. Find even more drawing tips inside the pages of the Phoenix comic, along with great stories and more. Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw faces from different angles. In a previous video, we've covered how to draw faces from the front, which relies a lot on symmetry. This in theory should make it easier to place facial features. However, I've always struggled with symmetry and often found that one eye would be smaller than the other or the nose would be off centre. So I actually prefer drawing a face from an angle, as you don't have to worry about any of that. In this video, we're going to cover drawing a face from a 3/4 angle, from the side, from behind, from above, and from below. And for each angle, we're going to be using a very similar set of building blocks. Building blocks are a series of basic shapes we use to construct a set of guides from which to create our final drawing. Let's start with the side angle. First, draw a simple circle, and then add a triangular shape that flicks up at the right edge. Now, draw in an oval for the ear and an eye line to help you place the eyes. You can stop here if you like and move on to your final drawing, but if you want to add a little more detail to your building blocks, you can put some of your facial features in place using simple shapes. The eye is just an open triangle joined together with a curve, and at this stage the nose and mouth are just a series of triangles. Now let's move on to our final drawing. Because I work on a computer, I'm going to turn the opacity down on my guides to make them fainter and then create a new layer for my final lines. If you're using pencil and paper, then either draw your guides really lightly and erase them later, or overlay a second piece of paper over your guides and draw over them to save rubbing out. Start with the top of the brow and then work your way down the profile of the face, trying not to just trace over your guides. Now add the eye. Give the top of it a gentle curve and draw a thin straight line for the bottom with a narrow oval for the pupil. Add a small mark for the nostril and then fill out the lips. Now draw in the jawline and neck, and then add a bit of form by adding a contouring line underneath the jaw. Finally, add the ear and the back of the head and neck. You'll notice that when we move on to the 3/4 angle, that the basic building blocks we use to construct the face are the same as the side view, it's just their placement that's a little bit different. And when we move on to our final drawing, we start in much the same way, by defining the profile of the face and then moving on to the eyes, the nose, and then the mouth. A quick tip for when drawing the eyes from a 3/4 angle. Always make sure that the eye furthest away is narrower than the one closest to us. If they're both the same size, your drawing won't look quite right. Now let's move on to some more advanced angles. Don't get too intimidated though, we're still going to use the same building blocks and construct our final drawing in much the same way. When drawing from below, the top of the head will be less round. You'll see less of it, and the chin and the jaw will be bigger. Notice that on our building blocks the eye line curves upwards. When constructing your building blocks, it might help you to imagine perspective lines going up to a point either side of the head. After you've finished on your final outline, contouring the chin and jaw will really help to sell the angle. And when we get to the facial features, the eyes curve with the contour of the eye line. The nose will be shorter and the ear will appear lower down due to the angle. When drawing from above, the top of the head will look slightly elongated and the chin and jaw will be smaller. Starting with the building blocks, you'll notice that the eye line curves downwards, and again, perspective lines might help you. When we move on to our final drawing, we start with the profile of the face, making sure to break away from our guides when drawing things like the brow and the chin. We then add the eyes, and then one continuous line for the base of the nose, as you can't see the nostrils from this angle. When drawing from behind, the facial features will appear squashed because of the angle. You'll notice that the building blocks are similar to the side view. When we move on to our final drawing, we start with the brow and then work our way down through the facial features. Note that the eye is much narrower from this angle, and that I tend to use disconnected marks for the lips. Finally, add the contour under the jaw and then draw in the ear. And that's it, you're done. We'd love to see your drawings of faces, so why not send them into the Phoenix and they might appear inside the comic. Till next time. If you enjoyed this video, why not give us a like, and for even more how to draw tutorials, make sure you subscribe to our channel. See you next time. For even more drawing tips, along with great stories and more, why not grab a subscription to the Phoenix comic by checking out the link in the description.